What is up, gamers? AJMX is back today for the video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about zealots and seeing if they are a good money-making method in Hypxiel Skyblock. So currently, summoning eyes are over 1 million coins, which is pretty good, especially if you're an early, mid, or late game player. I do think this has potential to make you a lot of money per hour, and these prices are super high right now because people are trying to get the Ender Dragon pet, and I do believe they'll stay this high for a while. So this could be a long-term viable money-making method for you. Now, I'm going to be talking about a few things here. First, we're going to be talking about how to kill a zealot, what are the requirements in order to succeed in zealot grinding, and then lastly, we're going to go ahead and do an hour test of my own to see how much money we end up making in 1 hour from all the drops of the summoning eyes. Before we begin this, if you guys can subscribe, I extremely appreciate it. We just hit 1K, which is super awesome. I'm super grateful. But if you guys want to see me do a face reveal on stream, I will need 10K subs. So let's try and reach that goal, boys. So let's get started with the video. Alrighty, gamers, so we're going to be talking about the first thing here is the basics of killing zealots. So if you're a newer player, essentially zealots spawn down here in the dragon's nest. So you want to come up from the top. So if you go ahead and you spawn in here, I believe you need combat 12 to get here. You're going to go ahead and go here, and you're going to go all the way down here. And this is where the dragon's nest is. And there's going to be a bunch of different mobs here. There's going to be zealots, which are these guys here. There's going to be the watchers, which are also the skeleton guys back here, and then the obsidian defenders, which are right here as well. So you want to focus primarily on the zealots because those are the ones that have a chance to spawn the special zealot. Once the special zealot spawns, you will be able to kill that for a guaranteed summoning eye. So it is a very low chance to happen. It's 1 in 420, so it is unlikely. However, if you're consistently grinding zealots per hour, you can probably get at least a few per hour, which may be pretty good for money. Now, one thing to note is if you can't one-shot these mobs, I don't recommend actually doing this money-making method because you need to, at the bare minimum, be able to one-shot these mobs. For most people, it should be pretty easy, but if you're a newer player, I recommend trying to get more talismans and trying to also get a little more money so you can unlock some other basic stuff like a god pot and stuff, because that'll help you do a lot more damage. So that is the basics of killing zealots. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about what items you need in order to be as efficient as possible when it comes down to grinding zealots. Alrighty, gamers, so now I want to quickly go over what armor and weapons you need in order to succeed in zealot grinding. When it comes to zealot grinding, you're going to want to have, I recommend young dragon armor. This is pretty solid armor you can use to run around and go really fast. If you don't do enough damage, you can always use something like superior or strong. But again, I think this is a lot better, so try to optimize your damage for the young dragon armor so you can go ahead and one-shot zealots and run very fast. Second thing you're going to want to absolutely have is a god pot. These things are super important. They give you a ton of health, a ton of move speed, and everything. So very, very nice for that. And they last 12 hours for 500k. So very good investment because you'll make the money back if you kill one zealot and get one eye. So those are the main things here. And when it comes down to weapons, any weapon works fine. I am going to be using an AOTV for this test just because it's a lot easier for me. I can just teleport and click. Some people also opt to use the frozen scythe, which is definitely an option. They're a little bit more expensive, but basically it's an item that allows you to shoot a kind of like a soul whip, but it'll shoot like an ice beam in front of you. I really don't like those that much, so I'm just going to do it the manual way, and I think this is actually faster anyways. So yes. Now when it comes down to the summoning eyes, there's a few other things I wanted to mention. First of all, zealots are not affected by magic find. So if you're trying to grind with magic find, don't worry about magic find. It does not affect zealot chances to drop the special zealot, which gives you the summoning eye. There's only one way to increase zealots, which I'll explain in 1 second. So when it comes down to also frustration, I recommend if you see someone that's really just dominating the lobby, just go ahead and leave and find a new one. Typically, the lobbies nowadays aren't as crazy full of like sweats as they used to be. They used to be very full of sweats. Now it seems a little more calm, but you'll get that occasional sweat here and there. So I do recommend if you get that guy, just go ahead and swap lobbies and it should be fine. Now, when it comes to the test, I did want to mention here, I'm going to show you guys a decked out set that is optimized as much as possible so you can see what the max amount of coins per hour would look like. So the one way you can increase your chances of getting more zealots and getting the more special summoning eyes is by having the Enderman pet. I have an Enderman pet that's legendary, level 100, and you can see by the third perk there, Zealot Madness, it increases your odds to find zealot by 25%. So very, very cool there. So I'm going to be using that, and I'll just run around with the AOTV. Now, whenever I'm just going to be running around for 1 hour, and keep in mind that my tracker is glitched. It's going to be stuck at 1,000 starting, but every time I kill a zealot, it's going to go up by 1. So we'll go ahead and subtract how many zealots I've killed by subtracting 1,000 from the total at the end of the run of 1 hour, and then we'll get to see how much money that makes. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 1 hour of grinding zealots, and I'll see you guys then. Alrighty gamers, so we just finished 1 hour of zealot grinding, and I want to go over the results to you right here. So as you can see in our inventory, we have 3 summoning eyes equating to about 1.1 million coins each, and then a crystal fragment worth about 100k if sold to the bazaar, and then also there was an enchanted eye of ender and obsidian chestplate. We're not going to count these two because they're irrelevant, because they're just random drops I got. Now, in total, we made about 3.4 million coins in the hour, which I would say is okay. It's a pretty good amount of money, especially for like early and mid game players. However, we did get unlucky with our zealots here. As you can see here on the counter, we did not get an eye for 588 zealots, which is very unfortunate because the average is 1 in 420. So these 3 eyes are pretty much what I got, and then at the very end, I could not get another eye with that. In total, we killed 1,385 zealots. So if we go ahead and take it through the math here, if you divide it by 3, on average, I got 1 eye every 461 zealots killed. I do think that I got very unlucky because, like I said, the average is 1 in 420, but I'm not a very lucky gamer. Now, how would I rate this as a money-making method in the current meta of Hypixel Skyblock? I would say it's actually an okay method because you can actually get some decent combat XP by doing this. And on top of that, if you're an early and mid-game player, you don't have enough materials to actually start farming or mining. So I do recommend this if you're early, mid, or late game even. But start phasing it out during late game and end game because there's better things you could do to make money there. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.